Hey guys, Randy Potato here with another Darkest Dungeon 2 guide. Today I'll show you the process of selecting a strong and synergetic team of heroes and skills to tackle the mountain and slay the boss. We've constructed this team on the assumption we will face Act 2 on Infernal difficulty. The first thing we want to do is check all the characters' paths and see if any stand out as universally strong, and build our team around them. Right out of the gate, we get a Master Occultist, meaning all his skills come pre-upgraded. This is the rarest path, and quite powerful in the early game, but it's worth noting that if you play the run correctly, meaning very aggressively with lots of fights, you will almost always have enough mastery points to fully upgrade your team, making the master path useless to us in the endgame. Still, the significant early boost now means we can take even more risks, and potentially even a lair boss in Region 2, allowing us to snowball our loot earlier. Let's go ahead and slot him in rank 4 and check out the rest of our options. There are some nice paths here, definitely some worth thinking about, but nothing mandatory yet. Here is a Surgeon Plague Doctor, arguably the strongest path in the game. PD already has one of the most useful and diverse kits in the game, and is now a melee god. This is an automatic pick, and to take advantage of Incision and her heals, we're going to lock them into 3rd position. Let's take a look at the 3 remaining characters with paths. We have a Carcass Hellion, a pure tank class with an AoE stress heal. This team could definitely use both of those right now. A quick peek at her quirks shows she is a precision striker, giving her plus 7% crit, which is somewhat useless with a hero who doesn't intend to do much damage. Her negative quirk is horrible, especially for Act 2, lowering her crit and destroying positive tokens if burning. Since the main Carcass buff involves acquiring positive tokens, this is pretty scary. Along with her total lack of damage, this is somewhat weak. Let's see what else is available. Next we have a Survivor Runaway. With Survivor, we add a 3rd very strong healer to our team, and the Runaway gets some sustain as well as a speedy token, which is quite useful for applying either her strong smokescreen debuff or her fire dot. Her quirks are not very relevant on either side. If I were to take her, I'd most likely want her in rank 4, and move to acquire additional fire dot trinkets from the sprawl. I'm not quite ready to put her in my team yet, so let's move on to Virtuoso Jester, a tanky, speedy jester who gives us a viable stress healer along with stress resistance. My main concern is the poor fit with Surgeon Plague Doctor. The jester's movement skills move the Plague Doctor around too much, risking her losing access to Incision and Battlefield Medicine. If we lock the Jester in rank 4, we're settling him as a pure buff encore stress heal bot, which is fine, but probably not our best option. Let's take a look at the rest of the heroes and their quirks and start ruling out characters. 2 heroes jump out at me, Grave Robber and Highwayman, both with Unerring, which gives them buffed range damage. Unfortunately, Grave Robber's best move, Pirouette, is out of the question most likely, since it would force Plague Doctor to either start in 4 or end up in 2. And Wanderer Grave Robber is fairly remarkable as is, even with Unerring. Highwayman is more promising. We could start in rank 1 and point blank shot with boosted damage. Highwayman also has a fine all-around kit, especially with Double Cross, which is another source of vuln application for our star Plague Doctor. Our last 2 options are tanks, either normal Man-at-Arms or normal Leper. Both add an important taunt element, but while Leper can only self-heal stress, Man-at-Arms can provide -2 to himself and any one other hero, making him a stronger option than Leper or Carcass Hellion in this capacity. In addition, Man-at-Arms has Riposte, combo application, and stun with combo on upgrade, which could pair nicely with the Occultist pull. With Man-at-Arms slotted in at rank 1, let's go back and consider the heroes who remain. Leper and Grave Robber are out. Carcass Hellion doesn't really fit with another tank in play. Jester would force Occultist into rank 2, with a Man-at-Arms who will occasionally force him into 1. It could work, but Virtuoso just isn't strong enough for this comp, I feel. We're down to Survivor Runaway versus Unerring Highwayman. Runaway gives us a heal, blind combo vuln application, and high dot potential. She has higher potential damage output against the final boss, but requires trinkets for her full potential. The Highwayman dances nicely with Man-at-Arms, applies combo, riposte, and Vuln. All in a vacuum, especially considering all trinket potential, the Runaway is stronger. I like the Highwayman's fit in this comp better because Runaway would force either PD or Occultist into slot 2, and occasionally slot 1 with strategic withdrawal. Occultist slot 1 or 2 isn't horrible, but I don't really want to lose access to artillery or pole, especially if we end up fighting the General, whose immobilized trophy would make a nice fit for this team. Either choice is fine probably, but let's go with Highwayman and start him in rank 1 for point blank shot, although we'll tinker with the lineup based on our opponents. Let's move to skill selection, starting with Highwayman. First off, as discussed earlier, point blank shot is a must-add. Duelist Advance is also obvious for riposte. Take aim is a staple on basically every Highwayman, so that's our third skill. Double cross for self-sustain and Vuln application makes 4. Now to make our fifth selection, let's rule some abilities out. Highway Robbery and Tracking Shot are nice, but don't do enough in this comp. Open Vein is fairly weak without bleed trinkets, and Plague Doctor has priority on those. Our decision comes down to Wicked Slice, Pistol Shot, Grape Shot, and Double Tap. Wicked Slice is solid, consistent damage that can mitigate high death's door. Pistol Shot takes advantage of Unerring, and upon upgrade can stun a combo target, and we have plenty of combo application. Grape Shot also takes advantage of Unerring, and is a solid AoE that has a very powerful upgrade. Double Tap has sky-high potential with some damage trinket application, especially in nuking the boss. We will probably end up using a variety of skills and change them as needed here. We'll start with Wicked Hack for the raw damage and Deathblow help, equip Double Tap for layers, and put on Pistol Shot once we can afford to give it an upgrade. Grape Shot probably doesn't do enough here. We would need Sharp Shot Dismiss to take advantage of it. Now on to Man-at-Arms. Retribution is his bread and butter, obvious pick. Bolster is another auto-include in basically every build. Crush for base damage and self-sustain. Strategic Withdrawal is 4. This gives us both movement and combo. Now let's start ruling out moves to pick our fifth and final skill. Stand Fast is nice, but too slow with what this team is trying to accomplish. Courageous Abandon is cute, but needs too much setup. Hold the Line is very nice in the rare scenario you get knocked back to 3 or 4, but is usually a dead skill in this team. Defender seems unnecessary since we already have Taunt and 2 sources of healing. Command is a likely upgrade and pick going into the Seething Sigh because of Blind, but there's really no reason to equip it now. So we're between Rampart and Bellow. Rampart is a strong move ability with Daze, and combo stun on upgrade. Bellow provides an AoE to remove dodge tokens, and also slows down the enemy. My preference is to swap between the two. Use Rampart in most combats, especially when upgraded, and equip Bellow before Cultist and Creature Den nodes, which have more dodge tokens. Now to Plague Doctor. Incision is of course our top skill. With Surgeon, I like equipping both heals, Battlefield Medicine and Indiscriminate Science. Since they both take advantage of boosted healing, they both solve different problems, and having 2 heals can help save you if you run out of uses for medicine or are on cooldown with science. We also don't need to equip Blight skills, which gives us room for both on our bar. Our fourth skill will be Magnesium Rain to give us AoE dot and Corpse Clear. Now let's start eliminating skills to find our fifth. Noxious Blast is weak and redundant with Incision Surgeon. Plague Grenade is only useful for checking back row Death's Door, which we can do with the Occultist. We're not really a dot comp, so Cause of Death is out. Ounce of Prevention is fairly worthless. I can't ever see using it over Incision or Heal. We're down to Disorienting Blast, Emboldening Vapors, and Blinding Gas. Disorienting Blast gives us Shuffle, Daze, and low chance of weak. This simply is not strong enough without the upgrade that gives us Stun. Vapors is interesting to boost point blank shot, but in most scenarios Incision is just a better play. Blinding Gas gives us AoE blind, combo potential, and a Daze on upgrade. This is my pick for our fifth skill, but I'm open to swapping in the right scenario. Finally, we have our rank 4 Occultist. We have a multitude of ways to play this hero here, so we'll start by eliminating skills we definitely don't want to make our decision easier. Binding Shadows and Sacrificial Stab are obviously out, as we are purely a rank 4 class in this build. Malediction is cute with 2 riposts, but still probably not strong enough. Anamnesis is useless except with some aspirant builds. We're down to 7 skills to fill 5 slots. We have 2 different directions we can go here. One build is Artillery, Pull, Weakening Curse, Vuln Curse, and Reconstruction to give us a utility support Occultist build. Here we have multiple sources of combo, a Vuln and dodge removal for our damage dealers, Corpse Clear, back row AoE, and a heal. Pretty strong build with a comp that already has 3 fairly good damage dealers. Alternatively, we could go with a Burning Stars build to give us even more damage. This would require picking up both Burning Stars and Chaotic Offering, and dropping 2 skills. I feel like Pull and Vuln Curse are mandatory in this comp, so we have to choose to keep one out of Weak, Artillery, and Heal. Weakening Curse gives us combo, which this team utilizes well. Artillery is nice AoE damage, potential combo, and AoE stun with the Burning Stars build. I like having an emergency second healer so Plague Doctor can focus on damage, but it's definitely the weakest skill of the 3. I think for this build, the weak, guaranteed combo, and crit removal of Weakening Curse is slightly better than Artillery. Now between the 2 builds we've constructed, which one is the best? I'd say for regular road fights and node fights, the support build is better. Burning Star's setup is probably too slow. For bosses, we could use the extra damage from the Burning Stars build. So I would say start off with the support build, tweak accordingly for lair bosses, and then equip Burning Stars for the act boss. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned a bit on how to evaluate heroes and their skills, and how they fit together to form teams. Like and subscribe for more Darkest Dungeon 2 guides. Let me know in the comments how you would build this team.